Hey yo, what's good? It's your boy Mixtape Moth, and today I'm gonna hit y'all with a review of the new Stalley and Apollo Brown album entitled Blacklight. Let's get to it. Alright, so Stalley is a rapper coming out of Massillon, Ohio, who got his start in the late 2000s. He received a lot of his buzz while dropping projects during the blog era of the 2010s. After spending some years at Rick Ross's MMG label, Stalley went the independent route in 2017, but now he has joined the Mellow Music Group for this brand new release. Now, to be completely transparent, I'm not familiar with Stalley's albums up until this point. I have heard some of his songs over the years, some of which I like, but this new album was the first one that I've ever given a full listen to. And I'll be honest, one of the main reasons that I decided to check this out was because he had teamed up with the ever dependable and underrated Detroit producer Apollo Brown, who manned the boards for the entirety of this project. Of course, Apollo Brown is known for bringing forth that very distinct, soulful boom bap flavor to the production table. But this new project, Blacklight, contains 15 tracks and lasts approximately 54 minutes. The features are light, only consisting of Skyzoo, Joel Ortiz, and Amari Hardwick. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. The opening track, Hidden, is just an intro that explains the meaning or theme behind the Blacklight concept of the album. It is followed by the title track, which is set to a punchy and dusty soul sample that is crisp and very rich instrumentally. Here, Stalley can be seen flexing his wins while also remaining humble and ducking the haters. He recalls the days of standing at Western Union, but now he's just writing checks. I'd say it's a strong opening track and one of my 4 favorite Apollo Brown beats on the album. Track 3 is the Skyzoo assisted Love Me, Love Me Not, which is carried out by a smooth but rugged beat that contains a portion of the same sample Jay-Z used for Girls, Girls, Girls. On this record, Stalley talks about the haters who continuously prey on his downfall and having to deal with fickle fans. He states, "These dudes hate that I'm getting off, mad because I did it with no alcohol, no fentanyl." Seems to be that he's taking some shots at the druggy rappers of today. Now, Skyzoo ended up stealing the show as anticipated, but in fairness, Stalley held his own. The following track, No Monsters, is another highlight that has an immaculate beat. The soothing keys and prominent gospel chops are really stand out. This is a motivational anthem where Stalley talks about overcoming setbacks, racism, poverty and pain. He has seen so much already, so he can never really be scared of the monsters. What follows is We Outside, which doesn't have the most original title, but it ended up being a dope song. This is a get money anthem set to a dreamy and midnight synth backdrop, and I love the Cool G rap sample on the hook, which tied into the theme pretty well. Right after is Humble Wins, which has a fantastic multi-layered soul beat. There's just an epic and glorious feel to this production, which I feel brings out the best in Stalley vocally. You can tell he's in his bag over this regal production, as it's easily one of the best songs on the album. Track 7 is the synth heavy Breathe. It's a little more up-tempo and modern sounding than the other Apollo beats, which I feel is a nice change up. On this particular track, Stalley talks about feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders, but he remains resolute in pushing forward and inspiring others to remember to breathe and stay focused. The subsequent track is Lost Angels. It's a slower and down-tempo boom bap track with a melancholy edge. This record finds Stalley reflecting on the lost souls and victims of street life, whether deceased or in jail. His following lines are heartfelt and resonate. I got a spiritual connection with the block, lost friends, gained money, it's like a Robin Hood stock. Track 9, Catch Up, also has a slight somber feel to the production, but what stood out immediately was the Master Ace sitting on Chrome vocal sample. I consider this to be a good beat, but at this point in the album, I could have used a feature or possibly a flow change up from Stalley because his sound was becoming a bit repetitive. Fortunately, Joel Ortiz joins Stalley on the next song, Bobby Bonilla. This has a lush and soulful boom bap beat with some woodwinds. It's a very elegant and classy backdrop that did give me some Ninth Wonder Soul Council vibes. Now, obviously, Joel Ortiz was the MVP of the song, but that should not really come as much of a surprise. On The Realist, we get a funky horn loop, which stands out as something different sonically. I can't say any of the bars really grabbed me, but I dug the funky production from Apollo. The following, Broad Spectrum, finds Stalley dropping some slick lines over a sparkling boom bap instrumental. He raps, "I've been a gardener since I rose in a Rolls Royce and been a martyr since you first heard my cold voice." I like that at the end of the track, there was an audio clip stating how Midwest rappers have been heavily inspired by the hustlers, pimps, and dope boys. It just served as an additional reminder that Stalley is going to come with that Midwest energy and aesthetic on his records. Track 13 is Stay Low, which has a moody and ethereal soundscape. It's something smooth that you could ride out and reflect to on a rainy day, as I really dig the pensive keys. On this song, Stalley talks about being an introvert, staying low, and refraining from using many features throughout his career. The second to last track is What the Hook Gon' Be. Here, Stalley raps about his influence over a smooth and jazzy instrumental. He states, "All these dudes that you love, they all my kids. The sneaker shit, this car shit, I fathered it." The album then wraps up with Amari's Lament, which contains some spoken word by Amari Hardwick, aka Ghost from Power. Now, I can respect Amari for coming up with a dope and thoughtful poem, but I don't see myself revisiting this one, honestly. Overall, I give this album a rating of 3.5 mics. I feel Apollo Brown brought his A game as expected. The golden and nostalgic boom bap beats obviously were the most appealing aspect to this project. That is not to say that Stalley isn't a skilled MC. I think he performed well overall and said some compelling stuff here and there. You can obviously paint a picture and say fly things, no doubt about it. But after about the first half, or should I say 3/4 of the album, I found myself losing interest in what Stalley was actually saying or rapping about, and found myself more wrapped up and interested in the beats. Now, as good as the beats were, it is also possible that maybe Apollo could have provided Stalley with an edgier beat or two to change up from the dreamy and atmospheric tone in the second leg of the album. That is a possibility, but as a whole, I did like the instrumentals. I would say that the first half of the album is really strong and banging, but it starts to trail off in the second half, for me at least. That being said, I still think this is a dope project with stellar production from Apollo and decent verses from Stalley. In the comment section below, let me know some of the really dope Stalley projects that I should listen to. My favorite tracks include Blacklight, Love Me, Love Me Not, No Monsters, We Outside, Humble Winds, Breathe, Bobby Bonilla, and Stay Low. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section below. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out. But be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, is peace and blessings. Stalley, Apollo Brown, Blacklight, 1.